All right, welcome to the week ahead. We have Andrew Work from Harbour Times.
Hey, good to see you, Vincent.
Hi. It's a short week.
It is a short
week. Public holiday on Friday.
Yep.
It's the Mid-Autumn Festival.
That's right.
Thursday.
Yep.
And how would you describe this week then?
It's gonna be a compact week. People got to get as much done as they can. I think they're putting their heads down and getting to work, so there's not going to be as much flash, not as many exciting things happening.
Not too many exciting things?
Not too many exciting things, but I think there's going to be a lot of good work getting done in a short period of time.
So it's relatively boring, we would say?
Well, you know, it's boring, but of course it's our job to make it interesting.
All right. Let's start with this word, boring. Do you know what we eat for Mid-Autumn Festival?
I know there's been a lot of mooncakes flying around.
Mooncakes.
All right.
You know, mooncakes is actually very close to the Cantonese pronunciation of ferry board.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Moon is board.
Okay.
Moon.
Moon.
Yeah, and cake is extreme.
Extremely bored.
Extremely bored is mooncake. Mooncake.
Mooncake.
Yeah, mooncake. You say it one more time.
Mooncake.
This week is
mooncake.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Okay.
All right, but we're going to make it interesting.
All right. Okay. Let's start.
Let's start off. This is all about politics, and there's no council meetings for LegCo, but they are starting to sit in committees again. They're slowly getting back to the regular grind.
Today, right?
Today, they're going to be talking about stamp duties. Very controversial issue. Today they're talking about the special stamp duties, which is the anti-speculator one. Mm-hmm. Just remember SSD, speculator stamp duty. That's how you remember it. And the other one is the BSD, which is the kind of anti-foreigner stamp duty. So they're going to be talking about those today. Expect Abraham Scheck to be coming out breathing fire, because he has been steadfast in his opposition to this, telling them to make changes, and so we'll be looking for big things out of him. And I think that's something people should keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I thought Abraham used to be a very low profile and very quiet legislator, but not this time.
Not this time. He's been outspoken on this issue, and I mean, he's actually quite a thoughtful guy. If you sit down with Abraham Scheck,
I talked to him several times.
Yeah.
But unless absolutely necessary, he seldom goes public.
True.
He seldom goes public.
Yeah.
I think it's because people are very sensitive about developers as well. So,
absolutely.
He rather hide himself, keep himself
a little bit of a low profile,
rather than stir things up. But now he has to stir things up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and the stamp duty, and he'll definitely have support in different quarters from that.
All right.
Yeah. So that's going on. The other thing is the Leung Kuk. There's a new scheme the government has for employers. If you employ somebody who's disabled, you can apply to get 20,000 Hong Kong dollars to retrofit your workplace in some way to make it more accessible for that particular person and cater to their disability, which is, all fine and well and typical kind of Hong Kong government thing to do. But what's interesting is the Leung Kuk is going to be in the role of deciding who's disabled, are they disabled enough, and who should and shouldn't get the money. And I mean, just every time I think I've got a handle on what the scope of that organization is, given their origins, I mean, it's just amazing how huge they've become and how far their reaches into every aspect of Hong Kong life. Yeah. A lot of people don't know they got started when the British government had a concern about people selling off their daughters, poverty-stricken families. I'm talking pre-1900. Yeah. And they thought that sounded like sexual slavery. So they said, we got to go find all these people and take them out of the homes they're in. But some of these people might have been there 30, 40 years with these families. They've been brought up in as kind of brought in, and then became the domestic helpers. And the Leung Kuk was set up to provide orphanages so people didn't have to do that anymore. And also to check on these kids when they were in situ with families to make sure they were being treated properly. But since then, of course, now Leung Kuk does everything. Orphanages, old folks' homes, holiday camps for families, and now they get to decide if your disabled person is disabled enough so you get $20,000.
So what's your concern on that one?
It's not a concern. I just think it's a really unique organization, and one that if people aren't as familiar with, people who think they know it, look at it, and then every time they look at it again, there's something else they didn't know Leung Kuk was doing. I mean, they're just so deeply ingrained in the Hong Kong fabric. It's a fascinating organization.
Okay, I think the keyword for today is Leung Kuk then.
Okay, Leung Kuk. Have a look at it. You think you know them? Look again.
Leung Kuk. Do you know the Chinese word of Leung Kuk? What does it mean?
I hope it doesn't mean the same as mooncake.
No.
Okay,
it's different. It's different.
Okay, good.
But Po?
Yeah.
It's actually protect.
Right.
Leung means virtues,
right,
or good things.
Okay.
And Kuk is actually bureau.
Okay.
So the Bureau of Protecting Good Things.
Okay.
That's
protecting virtue.
Yeah, protecting virtues. That's
which goes
meaning.
Right back to these origins of them making sure that people were, girls weren't being sold.
Okay. To make our producer and web editors easier, I will shorten it into its normal short form.
Yep.
PLK.
PLK.
Yeah,
all
the
right.
welfare sector usually said it PLK.
Okay.
Okay, just to conclude, we are overrun slightly, but you know the Donghua group of hospitals, right?
Yes, of course.
You know the normal short form for them in the welfare sector?
Oh, yeah.
It's quite interesting. It's TWGH.
Okay.
So I met a welfare officer once, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to meet TWGH and PLK today."
All in one. Okay. And then off to LKF for a couple of drinks after. Right?
Exactly.
Another Hong Kong institution.
The LK is different, though.
Yeah.
Here for today, PLK.
PLK.
Not LKF.
Okay.
PLK.
Sounds good, Vincent. Thanks.